This is no reality show.
This isn't acting.
This is the absolute genuine article.
This is going to change the way fans see the game.
This is business.
This is pleasure.
This is Braylon.
This is Bratwurst.
And Bryant, this is what the Colts do best.
This is focused.
This is flawless. This is football.
Football season is just around the corner, and we're here to give you our stardom sit-ems for week 1. First game, Detroit Lions versus Atlanta Falcons.
I see fireworks, man. I see a couple of bad defenses. Detroit's supposed to make strides, but I don't buy it.
I like Turner to get a ton of carries. Matt Ryan is the quarterback, so you know they're working in a rookie quarterback. Turner's going to see plenty of attempts. He may even get, a couple of goal line attempts in there.
D'Angelo Hall's gone. Should open up the passing game even more than it was already last year when they were like dead last.
Exactly.
Next game is Broncos at Raiders. I think it's going to be a defensive slugfest, man. What you think?
McFadden could have a big game in this one now.
Yeah, I like that. You can run on Denver.
Denver's run defense wasn't great last year. I like McFadden to come in, even though he's not started. He's not listed as the starter.
Right, Justin Fargas is.
He comes in the game early, and I think he gets plenty of touches. Could even see a few catches out of the backfield.
Break a big player, too.
I like McFadden.
I can see that. In terms of sitting, Javon Walker, and obviously Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall suspended for this one game. He'll be back after this week. But Javon Walker going up against Champ. Game 3 is Minnesota and Green Bay.
Minnesota's defense is outstanding against the run.
Right.
I don't know what they gave up last year, but it's nowhere near 100 yards.
Right.
If you have Ryan Grant, and you probably drafted him first or second round, I say sit him week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings.
I agree.
If you have any other back on your bench, start that back, because Ryan Grant, he's going to have practically nothing in this game. The Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers. With Patrick Willis on the other side patrolling the line, I don't think Edgerrin James has a big game.
The only way I see Edge going to work is if they open up a big lead early, which I don't think they will. I think Arizona and San Francisco is going to be a good game. So that makes Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden studs.
Exactly. Studs. Start them with confidence if you have them in this game. Not only that, but Kurt Warner, for the same reason, has a big game.
You got the Cowboys and the Browns. And fantasy-wise, if it's 50-50, you're going to come out of it real happy. So we're saying start just about everybody.
Just about everybody offensively in this game.
I
really like Braylon Edwards to have a big game. I like T.O. to have a big game.
Yeah,
who's going to cover T.O.?
All the obvious names are going to get there.
Marion Barber.
Stallworth, and then Creighton.
Stallworth and Creighton are probably the two guys that I don't want to start in this game.
Everybody else, go to work.
The St. Louis Rams versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Man, St. Louis could stop no one last year. So I think this is the perfect game for McNabb to right the ship and prove that he's still dominant McNabb. I say start him, watch them numbers pile up.
I think Bolger's going to struggle against the Eagles' defense. They picked up Asante Samuel in the offseason.
Yeah.
He's going to be covering Torrey Holt.
Yeah,
I just don't think he has many places to go with that ball. Isaac Bruce is gone.
I can't imagine Torrey having a huge game either.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. If you have Reggie Bush, which a lot of people do, maybe as a second back or a flex, I say sit him. I say he does not have a good game in that first game against Tampa. They're going to come out focused on Reggie Bush because he's their big playmaker, and they're going to take him away.
Galloway might look like a smart start here, but I just don't like it, man. I'm a Joey Galloway hater from day one.
Well, Galloway could go either way. He could get you 100 yards and a touchdown, or he could get you, 20 yards.
Or
exactly. Or nothing. If you have Earnest Graham, start him in this game. The Saints cannot stop the run. Earnest is a pounder, and I like him to get a lot of yards and also probably a touchdown or 2 in this game. The Tennessee Titans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's an interesting game, man, in that AFC South.
I think a defensive battle.
Yeah, I do too.
Tennessee is going to be focused on taking away that run.
Oh, yeah.
And Fred Taylor's not the fastest guy in the world. For that reason, I say you sit Fred Taylor. But start Maurice Jones-Drew, because I think Taylor could wear him down a little bit on D.
I almost feel like Tennessee went out and tried to copy Jacksonville. They see the success Jacksonville's had, so what they do, they went out and got Chris Johnson, right? So now they have 2 backs. I don't really love either of them in this game. Was Lendale going to get 80 yards and Chris Johnson go get 6 catches, and one of them might catch a touchdown? Carolina and San Diego. I don't think this one will be as cut and dry as it seems, primarily because I think Antonio Gates still is not right. He was visibly limping over on the sideline in that last preseason game. I think Chris Harris is going to hit him right in the big toe and put his ass on the sideline. I don't know. Of course, you start LT every week. But aside from that, the Chargers offense, it had so many targets. I don't see who you start every week.
I really like Jonathan Stewart from the Panthers.
Yeah.
Even though he's not starting, D'Angelo Williams is a starter. I think Jonathan Stewart comes in early, does well against the Chargers. Not only that, but I think if they get anywhere near the goal line, the Panthers that is, they'll be giving the ball to Jonathan Stewart.
Yeah.
This would be my bold prediction for week 1. Start Jonathan Stewart.
I like that. Chicago Bears, your boys, and the Indianapolis Colts.
But if you have Devin Hester on your team, sit him for week 1.
Yeah, Tony Dungy's not going to kick to that fool. And they run that same cover 2 defense, so they're going to be keyed on him. They're going to know where he's coming from and how to play him. Marvin Harrison is somebody else who's, got a lot of question marks around him. He says he's 100%. Another guy that you'd like to see prove it.
But there's just too many question marks around that passing game. I think the only guy, that you can really count on would be Reggie Wayne.
Next game, we got the Redskins and the Super Bowl champion New York Giants. Redskins look pathetic.
For that reason, I'm saying only start Chris Cooley in this game from the Redskins. Only Chris Cooley.
Yeah, Portis, you make that decision. I don't think he's going to get held out to nothing. But I could see Redskins putting up 3 on the Giants. Giants D is no joke, even losing Strahan and Menora.
But as far as Santana Moss goes, Antoine Randall L., if you're even considering starting those guys, I say sit them.
On the other hand, I say start Plaxico and start Brandon Jacobs. Washington hasn't proved that they can stop anybody.
The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens.
Who else benefits more than McGahee from having a rookie quarterback?
So I like Mason to have a good game the first game.
He's too old to go deep. You got to take a lot of them short passes from Flacco. I like that too. But in Cincinnati side, Chris Perry has emerged as a starter. Baltimore's D wasn't what it has been last year. So, but I'm tentative to say throw Chris Perry out there. If you have him on your team, let him prove himself. Great. You're going to get softer Ds in Baltimore. The Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills. What you think?
Okay. I don't like Seattle's running game. I don't like the addition of Julius Jones, Maurice Morris in the offseason. No, I think Seattle will find a way to score some points, and I think the guy that benefits from that is Matt Hasselbeck.
Yep.
He's going to find some receivers. You may think they don't have any, but they've got somebody on that roster who's going to catch passes in the first game. I think a lot of people are looking for Lee Evans to make a big comeback this year.
Right.
And, he could, possibly, but it's not happening in this game.
Marcus Trufant's a nice corner.
Trufant is going to be, covering him in the game. And not only that, but I think Trent Edwards sees a lot of pressure from that Seattle front line. The Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets.
Brett's debut.
What do you think?
I think he's going to go to work on Miami. I know they're supposed to improve with Bill Parcells bringing in the troops, but I see Brett wanting to make a splash. He's a showman. He's going to come out ready to play, which also means Lavernius Coles, Thomas Jones, all these guys who you see improving over a season's time because Brett gets there, I think show it in this first game. Miami is still Miami with Bill Parcells there.
The Kansas City Chiefs versus the New England Patriots. I don't like Maroney so much.
I don't like him ever. I don't see Maroney as a starter any week.
I think he could get you maybe, 60, 70 yards, but I don't like him to get over 100 yards in a touchdown. So I'm not saying start Maroney. What about the Chiefs? What do you think?
Chiefs, sit LJ. Sit
LJ Larry Johnson
immediately because they're going to key on him. That's what Bill Belichick does. But you got to figure that T-Gons, Tony Gonzalez, and Dwayne Bowe could see some action because they're going to be playing from behind. They're going to be trying to play catch-up. Houston Texans, Pittsburgh Steelers.
I like Matt Schaub to have a nice game against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Ike Taylor can't cover Andre Johnson.
No.
He can't even think about covering
him. For those reasons, I like Matt Schaub as a starter. If you have him, week 1, start him against the Steelers.
Right. And even maybe over a guy like Ben Roethlisberger, who I think is going to spend a lot of time on his back in this game.
This is football.